To vaccinate or not to vaccinate?
We don't vaccinate at all.
A new poll shows many parents don't plan on getting their kids protected against COVID.
It can make the decision feel more challenging and complicated.
Tonight, we're hearing from parents on both sides of the issue as kids get ready to head back to school.
The reward outweighs the risk.
Auto fever is in the air.
It's thrilling to be part of something this big that could possibly be rich.
Coloradans cling to hope that they'll be the state's first ever Mega Millions winner.
Mile-high expectations. On the eve of Broncos training camp, the goal is clear. The time to win is now.
All right, we're going to begin tonight with wild weather in Colorado. So take a look at this video. Morning anchor Nicole Brady and I were out distributing books at Hinckley High School in Aurora this afternoon when this fierce, fast-moving storm came through. The wind's so strong, we were struggling, as you see, to hold down the tent so it wouldn't fly off and hurt somebody, and it still lifted me off the ground.
And, you know, it wasn't just rain and wind in Aurora this afternoon. We also got video of hail falling in neighborhoods.
Wow, Aurora saw a lot of rain today. Look at this. Some of it found its way inside the King Soopers. This is Iliff and Buckley. Video shared on social media shows water coming in through the ceiling near the checkout lanes. Look at that. Our Denver 7 crew at the scene says the store's still open, but as you can see, the rain left a mess.
And as those storms move through the metro, multiple tornado warnings were issued out on the eastern plains. This video shared on Twitter appears to show a tornado touching down. This was in a field, thank goodness, in Kit Carson County. So far. No reports of any damage.
All right, we have a live look over our beautiful city here, and it's, well, as you can see, the lightning is really picking up once again at this late hour.
Yeah, putting on a show out there. So let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. What is happening out there, Mike?
Beginning of several rather active days and nights for Colorado. You see the strong thunderstorm activity from Denver southward. There have been quite a bit of it in Colorado Springs area, and some flash flood warnings have been in effect down in that area around Calhan right now. Flash flood warning until 11:30. Also an aerial flood advisory, including the city of Colorado Springs. Some areas around Larkspur and Deckers about over an inch of rain. Denver, not out of this either. This band of thunderstorms is building and moving southward into the metro. Another one that's down over southeast Aurora. The storms are going to continue to blossom over the next couple of hours, probably last well after midnight before they taper off. This is another view outside from our camera in Westminster at the Westin Hotel. Heavy rain coming down and plenty of lightning flashing. As far as our conditions overnight tonight, we're going to see those scattered storms end late. A little hotter, a little drier tomorrow, but then cooler and wetter Thursday into Friday, and some good soakers are expected, especially Thursday and Friday. I'll have your full 7-day coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. So the new school year is approaching quickly, and like last year, COVID will be top of mind for many people as students return to the classroom.
Now, unlike last year, though, vaccines are available for all school-aged children. But a new study from the Kaiser Family Foundation shows more than 4 in 10 parents of children under 5 don't plan on getting their child vaccinated.
Well, today, Denver 7's Colette Bordelon talked with parents on both sides of the issue, plus a pediatrician who is not shocked by the results of this study. Colette?
It's the first survey that's been done since 2 COVID vaccines were approved for young kids 6 months to 4 years old. And Colorado parents in particular are very divided when it comes to vaccines in general. But the pediatrician I talked with wants to remind everyone that one of the main goals of this vaccine is making COVID more manageable for the entire community.
Say hi, I'm Izzy B. Can you wave hi?
While kids play at the park.
Daddy loves you. Okay, go play.
Parents like Matthew Hickney are making decisions for their future.
You know, she's spinning around over there. She just started talking and using complete sentences, so we're really excited.
What's more exciting for this dad? Getting his 2-year-old daughter vaccinated against COVID-19 just months ago.
The science behind vaccination is very, very sharp. It's tough to deny it.
But a national survey says he's one of a small percentage of parents of kids between 6 months to 4 years old who have gotten their child vaccinated already, since the FDA authorized 2 COVID vaccines for that age range in June.
We came to the conclusion that COVID has a very good survival rate, especially for the kiddos.
Meanwhile, this mom wanted to remain anonymous when talking with us because she thinks her opinion isn't popular.
We don't vaccinate at all.
Children's Hospital Colorado says Colorado has the lowest vaccination rate in the entire country when it comes to general vaccines.
If I go to the doctor, they only have one standard for everyone, one size fits all vaccine program for every single kiddo.
For the ones who are feeling more hesitant, there's definitely been a few different patterns.
Those patterns are seen by Dr. Lucas Henderson, a pediatrician, and their concerns about side effects, long-term effects, and the idea that kids aren't as affected by the virus, which he says isn't necessarily true.
The kids serve as a reservoir that may not have had as much exposure to the virus.
He talks parents through their safety concerns and believes in the science behind the vaccine.
The reward outweighs the risk. The risks are not very high at all.
And back at the park, Hickney says his decision for his daughter is about more than just his family.
We live in a society, and I think we have a responsibility to each other, and yeah. She's perfectly fine.
A debate that keeps on going while the pandemic presses on too.
It's important to note most of the parents in the Kaiser study have not spoken to their pediatrician or other healthcare provider about getting the vaccine for their child. That makes Dr. Henderson hopeful these numbers will start to change over the next few months. Live in the studio, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Thanks, Colette. And if you're a parent wanting to get your child vaccinated, the state is hosting some vaccine clinics. In fact, there are 2 clinics tomorrow. One at Children's Hospital Colorado's North Campus in Broomfield and one at the South Campus in Highlands Ranch. And the clinics will run from noon until 7.
And Colorado school districts are laying out their plans to prevent the spread of COVID in the classroom. At Aurora Public School, students and staff who test positive will be required to isolate for 5 days. Students who develop symptoms will be asked to stay home. Now, masks will not be required on buses or in class. Denver Public Schools tell us guidance is going to be the same as it was the end of last school year. Students will not be required to wear masks, but they will be highly encouraged to wear them. Students and teachers who test positive will be asked to isolate for 5 days after experiencing symptoms.
New tonight, the Washington Post is reporting the Justice Department is investigating former President Trump. The paper is citing anonymous sources saying the investigation is part of the criminal probe looking into Trump's actions leading up to January 6th and efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Now, up to this point, the Justice Department has looked into the former president's closest allies, but had not said whether Trump himself would be investigated. And new details tonight in a crash that killed 5 people on I-25. Colorado State Patrol now saying the driver of a semi-truck that rear-ended the victim's SUV was driving on a canceled commercial driver's license. The semi-driver has not been charged. The crash happened June 14th on northbound I-25 in Weld County. State Patrol says the semi rear-ended a Ford Edge, causing a chain reaction crash. 5 family members inside that Ford were killed, including a 3-month-old child and her parents.
An arrest affidavit shedding new light tonight on a deadly police shooting in Inglewood. According to the document, the 22-year-old man who was shot and killed was not the man who shot at police. Now, Sunday night, officers were called to this home near Bellevue and Federal in Inglewood. They were performing a welfare check on Philip Blankenship, who they said was suicidal. Well, they say when they tried to get Blankenship to come out, he shot at officers. Those officers returned fire, hitting and killing Philip's brother, 22-year-old Matthew Mitchell. The Inglewood Police Department has denied many of our requests for comment. The DA's office now will take over this investigation. Well, the man at the center of the police shooting in downtown Denver, where police injured 6 bystanders, made another court appearance today. And in the hearing, Jordan Waddy's lawyer argued his client should be released on bond. She says he's still recovering from multiple gunshot wounds and not receiving adequate care in jail. She also said there are, quote, serious concerns about how DPD handled all this. The judge set bond $10,000. Now he's currently in the hospital receiving treatment. Well, an $830 million jackpot on the line tonight during tonight's Mega Millions drawing. Listen up, the winning numbers 29, 63, 66, 760, and the Mega Ball is 15.
No Coloradan has ever won the Mega Millions jackpot, and a lot of people tonight are hoping they are going to become the first.
Denver 7's Rob Harris tracked down a store that might provide a little extra luck.
For days now, it's been a steady stream of customers to this 7-Eleven on Tower Road in Denver.
2 quick picks, separate tickets. Y'all been selling a lot of tickets. I would want to say probably like 2,000, probably, or even more.
As the jackpot has climbed, the word's gotten out about the lucky machine at this store. So much so, the machine went down this afternoon and the sales had to stop.
It's been pretty hectic, so it just crashed. It happens a lot. Like if it's like busy like this all the time, then it'll like just crash. So, and like, they'll get mad at us, but we can't do nothing about it, so.
There have been 7 Mega Millions winners from the store, and together they've won more than $4 million.
Well, I was just fooling around, Googling, and I came upon, what's the luckiest store, and this one popped up, lo and behold. And I just lived right down the street, so here I am.
Now there are a lot of people hoping to make it 8 winners and add about $830 million to the total.
I feel luckier.
They're already making their plans for the money.
I helped my couple of my siblings pay off their mortgages.
It's going to be a yacht, no doubt.
But even if there's no yacht purchase or grand charitable donation tomorrow, the folks who talked to us said they'll still be glad they paid.
Absolutely. Okay, it's fun. You know what I mean? A break from the day-to-day. It's kind of thrilling, exciting.
Thank you, thank you.
Rob Harris for us tonight. And we looked it up for you. According to usamega.com, in Colorado, after taxes, a jackpot winner would stand to get $285 million. That's after taxes if they take that lump sum. Also, it's about $486 million if they take the payment over 30 years.
I hope someone in Colorado wins. Good luck. All right, the season hasn't even started yet, but there are already mile-high expectations for the 2022 Denver Broncos. Today, the team announced those coveted half-price tickets will go on sale next Tuesday at 10 a.m. 2,000 of those tickets will be available for each of the team's 8 home games, and tickets are limited to 4 per household. These tickets will go fast, so you will want to have your credit card ready.
And Broncos training camp gets underway tomorrow at Dove Valley. Lionel, Nick, and the rest of the Denver 7 sports team will have you covered with all the latest developments from camp every night right here on Denver 7. Where there's community, there's support.
It's good to know that we're not alone in our grief.
A first ever retreat helping firefighters cope with the tragedies that come with a job.
Pretty active radar right now, and it may continue well into the night tonight.
Plus, where in the world is Lord Stanley's Cup tonight?